Yeah, first of all, let me invite my colleague Serena to share the background of our study. Please, Serena.
Okay, thank you for coming to our talk. Our topic is about infertility. Infertility is defined by World Health Organization as a disease of the male or female reproductive system which fails to achieve a pregnancy after 12 months or more of regular unprotected sexual intercourse. It is a heavy burden on countless families with important implications for both individual and public health, including psychological distress, social stigmatization, and economic constraints, etc. Yes, IVF is also called test tube baby. It's a common form of assisted reproductive technology, also ART. During IVF treatment, an egg is removed from the woman's ovaries and fertilized with sperm in a laboratory. The fertilized egg, called an embryo, is then returned to the woman's womb to grow and develop. But for those who with low quality sperms, ICSI will be initiated. The selected sperm is directly injected into an egg. Yes, researchers have identified metaphor use in the discourses of various diseases, including cancer, depression, and the most recent COVID-19. So treating a disease is often compared to fighting a war. Infertility also is structured by a rich cluster of metaphors. Although it is not life-threatening, it is considered to be a disease because it is frequently associated with intense negative emotions such as anxiety and grief. Metaphors are used in mapping the infertility bodies. For example, the body as machine, as a property, as a project, and as a container that carries a baby. As for the treatment of infertility, several metaphorical frames are identified. The treatment process is often compared to drawing a lottery. There are lucky winners who get pregnant successfully and unfortunate losers who fail to get pregnant. And also we have a very salient metaphor, a journey metaphor. So we can see expressions such as cross the bridge to describe the process. And as for the roller coaster metaphor, we may see phrases like ups and downs or top and bottom to describe the changing process of the treatment. And for battle metaphor, the women receiving the treatment are often compared to soldiers returning from the battlefield. All right, however, metaphor is not the mere comparison between two things. With the help of a metaphor, the experience is transformed symbolically. For instance, in the infertility treatment metaphors, depicting infertility as a battle fighting conceptualize this experience as consisting of winners and losers. However, on the contrary, the journey metaphor may help patients to focus on their growth, development, and independence. By reviewing previous studies, we've identified three research gaps. Next, yes, three research gaps which inspired us to carry out the present study. So there are three research gaps. They include the lack of studies with developmental variation of metaphor use, and the lack of study with a self-initiated discussion among infertile individuals, and the lack of study within the China context. First, IVF typically involves 5 steps to complete the cycle, as you can see from here, the picture. Studies have shown that patients may experience different types and different degrees of emotions in different steps. Our study will distinguish patterns of metaphor use among different steps to trace the change during the treatment. Secondly, previous studies mainly focused on data from print materials, interviews, and focus groups without considering the communicative functions of metaphors. Our project looks at the communicative functions of metaphor use in self-initiated interaction in an online support group, which will be discussed in the detail in our analysis. Finally, our study is situated in China, which is relatively ignored in the previous studies. ART has become quite prevalent in China due to various factors, such as advanced medical techniques, the lift of one-child policy, belated marriage age in modern China, and also the urban life pressure. Also, infertile couples in China experience huge pressure from traditional conception of childbearing, social prejudice, and huge financial burden. To address these gaps, we aim to answer 3 questions in our project. What are the frequently used metaphors and metaphorical source and target domains when people share infertility experiences? The second question is how the target domain of emotion differs through metaphor use. And the final question is what functions and roles metaphors play in online social group. Next, my colleague Beth is going to introduce what we have done in our pilot study.
Okay, thank you.
Beth. Yeah.
So the data we use is from online discussion forum in China, which is called Guangdong.com. And this website provides a platform for the online users to discuss the pregnancy-related topics. And actually, Guangdong means to sow seeds. So you can see there already a metaphor to map pregnancy to the planting, right? And we chose the data from different sections related to the IVF. And we further categorize them into before treatment, which is stage 1, during treatment, stage 2, and after treatment, which is stage 3. So this is the homepage of how this website looks like. And also this website is available in mobile phone app, and the posts and comments are synchronized in both platforms. And this is the sections we selected our data from. This is the IVF section and the 6 different subsections. All right, and for the procedure of our study, we mainly use the bottom-up approach, which means we annotate the data manually by different raters, and interoperability was reached in the end. So I won't explain too much of the metaphor identification and source domain, target domain verification, because I think most of you are familiar with the procedure. So, and also we categorized the functions of metaphors in online social group following some frequent types in previous studies. So the data was collected on April the 25th. So because we just started this project, and this is the results I show in a minute. It's just the results from our pilot study. And we chose 10% of the data, which consists of 30,000 words across 3 stages, and roughly around 10,000 words per stage. So among the 30,000 words, we've identified over 600 metaphorical instances. As you can see, stage 1 has the least number of instances, and stage 3 has the most. And also, most of the metaphorical instances existed in comments rather than in posts, which completely makes sense because there is only one post and followed by several other comments, right? So for the distributions of metaphorical keywords across stages, in stage 1, we've identified some frequent keywords here, for example, the transplant and generation and road, walk, enter, and etc. So for example, they will talk about their plans to transfer of blastula or transfer of embryo, and also they will talk about I need to walk this road means I need to choose choose the treatment, etc. And in stage 2, apart from the transplant metaphors and the road metaphors, there's some other types. For example, the support, which is was treated as building metaphors, and also the word treats menstruation like a person, and also they will use a lot of the word like 接, so 接 means to receive something, receive a physical object, but they use this keyword, they use this word to express their hope of being pregnant. And in stage 3, the most frequent type is to receive and also pass. And also there are some other types like graduation, and also open the prize, which is to announce the winners in the lottery. So for example, someone will ask like, do you know the gender of the babies yet? And they will reply by saying, I'd like to guess the blind box and let's draw the prize after I give birth. All right, and as for the distributions of source domains, we've identified 4 main source domains here, including human being, journey, plant, and physical objects. But their frequencies are varied across different stages. For example, human being metaphors are mainly used in stage 1, and journey metaphors are kind of equally used in stage 1, 3, and plants is salient in stage 2, and physical objects by using the word pass and to receive is the most frequent type in stage 3. So these are some target domain distributions. For example, they will talk about treatment and embryo and emotion in stage 1, and in stage 2 and 3, that will be mostly related to pregnancy and also like treatment and pregnancy tests. Mappings here including treatment is a journey, human being and machine in stage 1, and stage 2 and 3 there will be map the pregnancy to the physical object, journey, and gambling, etc. And as for our second research questions, because we want to see how emotions are expressed through metaphors, but we didn't really find many instances here. But we identified several frequent types, for example, suffering. They will use like being cooked on a slow fire, for example, ao, right? And also they will use to describe the indecisive feeling, like being intertwined and twisted. And also they will talk about the sad feeling and upset through using some like bodily feelings. And our last question is related to the functions of metaphors in online social group. And as you can see in stage 1, most of the metaphors are used to share experiences and also to seek and to provide information. That's the pre-treatment. But during treatment, they will mostly use metaphors to share experiences, but they will also start to use metaphors to kind of pray for each other and also try to build up relationship with each other. And you can see pray, congratulations, and building up a relationship becomes the most salient type in stage 3, which is after treatment. So just want to quickly summarize our pile of findings. The first thing is the dominant source domains are roughly consistent across 3 stages, but the frequencies are varied. And we've identified several commonly used mappings here. And as for emotion, actually, we didn't really find many instances talking through metaphors. But you can see in stage 1, it consists most of the emotion related metaphors. And also the most common types are consistent across 3 stages. And as for functions and roles, we've identified 3 main types here, including information support, emotional support, and social interactions. And I would like to draw your attention on one instance of using the like here to receive something. And actually, this is a quite interesting case in Chinese because this word actually carries many different meanings. And in the most frequent instances we've identified in stage 3, they will use a lot of to receive the posters, 楼主好运 good pregnancy, but 好运 here is actually a pun because it shares the same sound with good luck. And the whole sentence just to imply that the commenter really want to receive the luck from others and also hope they can get pregnant too. But it's kind of to pray for each other and also try to build up a relationship with other online users. All right, so because this is just some preliminary findings from our pilot data, but we've already identified several interesting patterns here. For example, you can see treatment is mostly depicted as a journey in stage 1, but pregnancy can be related to like gambling and also competition and examination in stage 2 and 3, while treatment and also after the treatment. But one interesting finding that we didn't really find many war metaphors in our pilot data, and we speculate that infertility metaphors are not as violent as other disease-related metaphors. And also, we speculate that people might consider infertility not that typical disease as other chronic disease, but rather they may treat it as a like tough journey which they have to face and also they have to walk along with. All right, so that's everything for our talk, and we really hope that we could have some opportunities to share you some other findings, also to provide some like in-depth discussions when the study is completed. All right, thank you for listening. Any questions?